From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Andrea Lutz. We begin in Livingston, where some schools remain closed and police are still involved in a standoff with an armed suspect that's now heading into its second day. Deputies tried to serve 49-year-old Michael Marfuta a court-ordered eviction and they were confronted by him with a knife. After some negotiating, law enforcement say Marfuta fired shots, but no officers were hit. All neighboring homes were evacuated and sheltered in place. Washington Elementary and Winans Elementary are the only schools that will resume classes today. And new at noon, Billings public school officials announced Bench Elementary is in lockdown. In a Facebook post, school officials said the lockdown was a precautionary measure due to a disruption in a nearby neighborhood. The school is working with Billings police, and all staff and students are safe at this time in the building. Billings police continue to investigate a deadly crash involving a 16-year-old girl who was killed shortly after school got out for the day. Police say the teen was driving north on Virginia Lane Tuesday and was T-boned by an eastbound Dodge pickup driven by a 19-year-old man. The girl died at the scene. Her 14-year-old passenger was sent to the hospital with injuries. 3 people were in that truck. All appear to be okay. Police don't believe drugs and alcohol were a factor, and at this time there are no arrests or charges. This afternoon, police are working to notify family and identify a body found on the shores of Flathead Lake in Polson. Police responded to an area of the lake Tuesday afternoon. That's where they located that body. The Lake County Coroner's Office is investigating, but say so far there's no signs of foul play. The person's body was taken to the Forensic Sciences Division for an autopsy. Discussion on a bill that would set aside 60% of out-of-state hunting licenses to clients of outfitters brought dozens from the industry to Helena. Outfitters from across the state said they need certainty rather than depending on their clients to get a lottery tag. Supporters of this bill say it would generate millions of dollars to improve Montana hunting for everyone. But opponents say a 2010 voter initiative already threw out the ability for outfitters to get tags for clients. They say it's unfair for non-residents who don't want to hire a guide. No action, though, was taken on the bill at the legislature. 2 FBI agents are killed and 3 others are injured in a standoff in Florida. It happened yesterday as they approached a suspect's home who was being investigated on child pornography charges. The man apparently watched agents walk up to his home through a video doorbell before firing shots through an unopened door. The suspect eventually killed himself. President Biden was briefed on the incident and said, "Our hearts go out to the families of those FBI special agents." New at noon, Montana Democratic Senator Jon Tester is heading to the White House today to meet with President Joe Biden. The now chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee will discuss the critical need for a comprehensive COVID-19 relief plan for veterans. Tester wants a robust vaccine distribution plan to connect veterans with vaccines, and he'll also be pushing the administration to implement an aggressive spending plan for coronavirus aid relief. A polar vortex is expected to make every state drop below freezing by next week. The National Weather Service says a polar vortex is a large area of low pressure that comes in from the north and the south poles. It's expected then to push a blast of cold air through the country, and it's going to start off in the Midwest. Places like Wisconsin could see temperatures drop to 25 degrees below on Sunday. Warmer places like Atlanta are predicted to see a low of 19 degrees by Monday morning. And officials say if that happens, it will be the coldest temperature the city has seen in 3 years. And we're seeing Montana's own temperatures change quite a bit out there. So let's check in now with meteorologist Miller Robson. Hi.
Hey, Andrea. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hump. The weekend is in sight. Hang on, we're going to get there together. Let's take a look at our temperatures out there right now. We're still seeing some 30s and some 20s, even some teens along the high line. You can see it's still kind of active out there. So take a look at the Doppler radar. Some spots seeing some rain-snow mix. Also seeing just some full-on snow just southeast of Billings. We got some snow up there in Missoula as well. Speaking speaking of snow, just some preliminary numbers coming in so far today. Beaverhead County close to 4 inches near Polaris, about 3 inches in Fergus County and Madison County, and just over 2.5 inches in Gallatin County. Now we're going to add to that total, especially as we get into the weekend, and we will see those colder temperatures coming in. Details with the main forecast coming up. Andrea.
All right, Miller, thanks. Some Gallatin County senior citizens say they're being left behind as the county lags in vaccine allocations. Governor Greg Gianforte listed residents 70 and older in that Phase 1B category, but some are saying 70 doesn't include all seniors. One senior saying there's still a highly vulnerable group from age 60 to 69 that aren't included in that phase, and he says those people face a much higher risk of dying from an infection and should become a priority. The Ravalli County Health Department is asking residents to help those without computer skills access a vaccine sign-up list. Ravalli County's registration system went live Monday, and the system isn't a waiting list, but it gives nurses a way to contact people for appointments when vaccines are ready. The site is for those getting shots from public health, not pharmacies. It includes links for each category of residents, and officials want people to assist the elderly in order to complete registration.
And so what we're asking is that if you have elderly family or friends, or maybe say church groups could, get together, and if there's people in their church that need help getting signed up, we're asking them to please help them do that rather than call me and say, this process doesn't work. This is broken because of this. Help me, help them, get me that information so that we can get those people taken care of.
Well, the county will coordinate with community agencies to make sure everyone wanting to be vaccinated does not get overlooked. Well, like other businesses, the oil industry is getting hit hard by the pandemic. ExxonMobil is reporting its biggest loss in history. In 2020, the company lost more than $22 billion. Meanwhile, BP lost $18 billion, and Chevron reporting $5.5 billion loss for the year. Oil companies are hoping to see more travel in 2021 as Americans do start to get vaccinated. A pressure to reopen schools is causing tension between politicians and unvaccinated educators. In Chicago, teachers are on the brink of striking over the matter. In Cincinnati, a teachers' union lawsuit has been filed over the safety concerns. And many students are back in the classroom, but against their wishes. Meanwhile, parents are split on the matter. Some are worried about safety, while others say their child isn't learning anything from online courses. And for the first time in almost a year, Missoula County Public High Schools welcome back students into the building. This is Missoula County Public Schools' transition into Phase 2 learning during the pandemic. Phase 2, meaning all students who opted for in-class learning are now on site for 4 days a week. It also means near to full capacity with schools in modified operations and activities. Social distancing has been a chief concern heading into Phase 2 for teachers, staff, and administrators, but students are saying they've noticed those safety protocols are in place. We do have more ahead on the noon news on this Wednesday, including how a recent warm weather in Montana is impacting our ski season. We're heading to Whitefish Mountain Resort to learn more. But first, Miller is back in with a look at that statewide weather forecast.